And thank you, Andrew.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew. So welcome everybody to the 120th episode of the Indigenous Global Unity Summit, or as we call it, the IGU Summit, which is taking place right now here on September 21st, 2023. Before I do get started with this IGU Summit, however, I do like to say a land acknowledgement. So, to acknowledge those who came before us on this land, we begin today by acknowledging that we walk upon the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples. We recognize their history, spirituality, culture, and stewardship of the land. We're grateful to all Indigenous groups for their commitment to protect the land and its resources, and we are committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding. We acknowledge the land that I am residing on and visiting here in Dalat, Vietnam, is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Indigenous Coho people, who are now among the poorest of Vietnam's Indigenous minority peoples. Traditionally slash-and-burn farmers, they settled in the southern part of the fertile Central Highlands area of Vietnam centuries ago, mainly in the area around what is now the modern city of Dalat, a former French colonial outpost. Today, there are around 100,000 Coho in Vietnam's Central Highlands, around 10% of the Indigenous population in the area. At home, they still mainly speak their Indigenous language, despite their children now being schooled exclusively in Vietnamese. I'm putting a link in the chat for those who wish to learn more about the Coho people. We'd like to thank the Indigenous people of these lands, including the Indigenous Coho people, for sharing this land with us. In our role as settlers and visitors and displaced people on this land, we share the responsibility of challenging and disrupting colonial systems that enact violence upon the land and stand in solidarity with Indigenous peoples. We also acknowledge and recognize all of the world's Indigenous peoples as stewards of Mother Earth. Okay, so with the land acknowledgement completed, we're now moving on to the regular part of our session. I just want to ask for those on the call, please let me know if you do see our guest speaker coming in. His name is Mohammed Sase from Sierra Leone. So just interrupt me if you do happen to see him coming on. In the meantime, I'll continue. And I do like to say at the beginning, for all of our friends in Africa, or Kibulan, Asante Sana, well, thank you very much in Swahili. So thank you for joining us today for this IGU Summit event. I do like to say as well, Sawubona, which means I see you, I see myself in you, I see your hopes, your dreams, and your struggles. I see your ancestors as well, because interconnectedness does not end with two people who are greeting each other. It extends to include the ancestors. All beings in Mother Nature are interconnected. There is no sense of being separate. I see myself in all beings, and therefore, if I harm other beings or Mother Nature, it translates into harming myself. So today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023, week 120 of our IGU Summit series. Today is World Peace Day, aka International Day of Peace. Our guest speaker today, again, Mohammed Osman Sase from UnityNet Sierra Leone. His organization is called Sierra Leone Educators Development and Advocacy Network, also known as SLEDAN. So SLEDAN is a local NGO established with the goal to address community problems. The title of Mohammed's presentation is just simply an overview of the Sierra Leone Educators Development and Advocacy Network. First, as a short introduction to let our audience know who is UnityNet and what we're doing. These global Unity Network events, like this one, are intended to facilitate regenerative localization by helping to identify and bring together all of the local, regional, national, and international partners required for creating the global multi-stakeholder partnerships, or INAP collaborative empowerment networks that help to empower our local regenerative development solutions providers, our UnityNet female feminist humanitarian entrepreneurs in all of our local communities worldwide. What is our goal? We're assisting in the global transition to a responsible, localized, productive, compassionate, collaborative, regenerative economy that leaves no one behind as we approach the end of the Sustainable Development Goals, with SDGs, which are taking place from 2015 to 2030. So I'm putting in the chat a little bit of information about our business and a website where you can get in contact with them. I'm also putting in the chat some information about today, the International Day of Peace. So the background this day, which is very important. So the next event in the UN calendar before our next IGU Summit event is World Tourism Day on Wednesday, September 27th. This is also an important day in the calendar because many of our local projects and teams of humanitarian entrepreneurs can certainly focus on sustainable and regenerative tourism as well. With tourism becomes a source of revenue generation, as well as for fostering peaceful dialogue and unity. That's which is SDGs for sustainable tourism. So, sorry about the noise and a bit of traffic. Again, in the chat, you'll find a little bit more information about the tourism for SDGs and the World Tourism Organization, which is part of the United Nations and their development programs.
Lloyd, can you hear me?
Yes.
Lloyd, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes. Andrew, are you there? Hello, Andrew.
I apologize. Your screen sharing is also overlapping your main panel. I'm not sure if anyone else can see it or not, but please. I made Stephanie and Lisa and these co-hosts. I have bad connection. I'm going to leave you, but let Lloyd know if there's a problem with the screen sharing. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you later.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Not sure exactly what he meant by that. Do other people see any issues with the screen share?
Yeah, I've been seeing some overlapping going on as well. What I see is the Global Unity Network being over the top of another page that's in the black, and then I see you sort of along the side, sort of.
So maybe it's seeing what I'm seeing on my screen. Not sure what people are seeing.
Right now, we
again. Let me know. I didn't get that. That was broken up.
Well, your text is overlapping everything else. Your dialogue.
Oh, you mean my notepad there is visible?
Yes.
Really? That's unusual. That's usually not how it works. Well, let me stop the share and see if I can get that. Perhaps this is a new way of. There we go. Let's see. How's this? Does it look better?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And you're not seeing any other overlaps? Okay. I will continue probably for the next little while, just to make sure that our guest speaker has an opportunity to come on. I do also have his presentation queued up. So when he comes on, again, please let me know right away. He did say that he might have some issues coming on with internet earlier today. He was on WhatsApp just moments before. He was online, so I'm not sure if there was some issues. But as I noted in previous IGU Summit events, we are now starting to prepare for our 11 days of UnityNet Youth Peace Weeks in October, where all of our members will continue to celebrate the diversity of humanity. And normally the Youth Peace Weeks start on Global Cooperation Day, which is October 4th, and continue until October 16th, which is World Food Day. Although this year we are extending the celebrations and Youth Peace Week events and turning October into Youth Peace Month, opening up the whole month to make presentations about regenerative development options. One of the reasons for doing this is because two of our members, actually, Patrick Chun and Bill Graham, would like to do a joint presentation and have an open discussion about the implications of AI on society and our future on UN Day, which is Tuesday, October 24th, at the start of the Global Media and Information Literacy, which runs from October 24th to 31st. So October is also the time of the year in the future where we would intend to host our yearly UnityNet Global Climate Smart Youth Forum event on or around World Food Day, but where this year we'll again do a series of virtual events throughout the month of October, including a discussion about the implications of AI on society and our future, as mentioned, along with possibly something on October 1st, the International Day of Older Persons, and World Habitat Day on October 2nd. And of course, my own presentation will take place during the International Day of Disaster Risk Reduction, where I'll be presenting information about the Science for Peace Climate Smart Food Program. It's during these weeks that we encourage all of our local INAC collaborative members and others to celebrate our diversity by doing events that are related to the things of the UN events of October, and also support the Science for Peace Climate Smart Food Program, which in turn supports the local implementation of solutions for achieving climate mitigation and drawdown, or SDG 13, climate action, and the local implementation of solutions for achieving food security, the regenerative climate smart way, or SDGs 2, zero hunger. Events can be done on any date between October 4th and 19th, ideally. But again, this year, an entire month of October will be set aside for Youth Peace Month events in 2023. The purpose of the events that we and our members might do during our UnityNet Youth Peace Weeks month will be to as places where we can celebrate our diversity and growth together. So this is the last big event our UnityNet members will do every year. But after October, we will not be slowing down too much. These weekly IGU Summit events will continue until the last day of the year, and we'll start preparations for Sunlight Spectacle 2024 that will take place early next year, which also includes a fundraiser for some regenerative projects, not just in Canada, but possibly also in Asia and Africa, and the Caribbean islands too. So let me again put in the chat some information about our UnityNet Peace Weeks that started on the 4th and goes to October 15th as a typical year, whereas this year we're extending to the whole month. You'll also find in the chat the Eventbrite registration pages for our Youth Peace Week launch event. What's the October 4th, and the details go to some event. So you'll find there's a link to Youth Peace Week's 2023 events collection as well on Eventbrite. And that includes the one event we have so far published that will go to Summit on October 4th. But again, we may have other events, including on October 1st as well. So you'll find again in the chat information about the Sunlight Spectacle 2024. There is a public discussion group as well for those who wish to join in the conversation about organizing that big event, which will take place in Windsor, Ontario. So as a reminder, the campaign for our UnityNet fundraising is called the UnityNet Watershed Peace Gardens campaign, and it's being led by the members of the Unity Environment Network and their allies, working in partnership with the Global Partnership for Regenerative Development and any other members. Our goal is to protect the ecological integrity of lakes, rivers, and watersheds and their biodiversity and the hotspots around them, as well as bioregional eco-integrity, using the UnityNet system of working with local Indigenous peoples and their allies. During the campaign, we'd like to begin to establish rings and networks of youth peace gardens around all the sacred waters and in all the sacred ecoregions, planted by young people and their families of these regions that need ecological protection from degenerative development like urban and industrial developments, mining, and other such activities that can contaminate the waters or damage the ecological integrity of these bioregions. We'd also like to establish local teams of pollinator and watershed ambassadors through the UnityNet RDG clubs at local schools in all local communities of these sacred watersheds and bioregions, as well as beginning to demonstrate regenerative living lifestyles that truly help to restore and regenerate ecosystems and local watershed integrity as people live their daily lives. So you'll find in the chat for this event some links to join the campaign, and in the Zoom chat window you'll find a little bit more information about the Watershed Peace Gardens campaign, which is, of course, designed to establish these networks of the peace gardens to protect the watersheds. So I wanted to also note that UnityNet International completed an event on Saturday, August 12th, which was International Youth Day. It was a broadcast that featured an interview with Dr. Paul Olivier. It was about waste management and value-added systems of production. Dr. Olivier is located here in Delat, right in the heart of Vietnam. And we also visited a couple of Indigenous villages and entered into dialogue with some Indigenous peoples in and around the city, including visiting a local Indigenous community a few hours northwest of the city, where Dr. Olivier got the village chief to agree to move forward to do a pilot project with now at least, I believe, 30 households. And last time I reported, I believe it was 10 out of the 400 village. So Saturday, August 12th, the broadcast focused on the actions that need to be taken in all of our local communities, UnityNet, to achieve a responsible, productive, localized, compassionate, collaborative, regenerative economy that leaves no one behind, starting with the UnityNet Youth Peace Gardens, but eventually leading to the establishment of some community-based unity gardens, some community youth hubs, and unity peace centers in all of the local communities of UnityNet. And although there was no tree planting ceremonies this year in October or any of these other months since our planting earlier this year, I'm still hopeful that discussions with these Indigenous community members will be fruitful and may lead to some tree planting ceremonies in youth peace gardens in future months and years. During our visit to the Indigenous community on Wednesday, August 16th, we were also able to identify at least one piece of the tree that the villagers consider to be sacred. This is the hagao tree, or rice flower tree, which is associated with the spring. It's also called many other beautiful names in English, like it's the Malabar silk cotton tree, the red silk cotton, the red cotton tree, kapok. In future, we may use this tree to do a tree planting ceremony in that village in Europe and establish at least one new peace garden, and possibly even our first UnityNet Community Garden Learning Center in Asia, most likely starting with the UnityNet double drawdowns on the smart kitchen. And so as we begin to plan to do our CTP twinning of our first youth peace gardens next year, it becomes important, especially around the time of the Sunlight Spectacle 2024 event, which takes place on April 8th, 2024, during this total solar eclipse. This will be when we can twin our youth peace gardens with some others in various other countries around the world, whether existing or future, wherever we can think to establish some UnityNet youth garden learning centers. This will be done in order to begin establishing a circular regenerative climate smart food production company, also using some concepts of Dr. Olivia and its waste management farming system, which defines all that can be found in the real farm schools and the double drawdown smart kitchens. Ideally, of course, we'd like to establish some Unity Garden or UnityNet Unity Peace Centers, which includes all of the 5 different types of open source regenerative climate smart infrastructure solutions that UnityNet has been promoting. So again, finally, we have a number of links to the different events that we have been having. Of course, the online events. This one, there's a link, but there's also the recordings of Olivia and those interviews for those who see more of what he is doing. There's also our related UnityNet food loss and waste group, which is very much related to transform waste at the highest levels for the maximum benefit of the farmers, producers in those communities. And of course, not quite as important as the other events, but something just a bit fun. Today, Thursday, September 21st, is also World Gratitude Day, which is a day that aims to remind us of the importance of expressing gestures of thanks and appreciation. While many people appreciate receiving gratitude, what they may not know is that expressing gratitude actually makes them feel better too. Today is also Miniature Golf Day, not to be confused with National Miniature Golf Day, which is celebrated on the second Saturday of May in the United States. But of course, these are very small mini events as well, but may not have too much impact. But I will put the links down in case anybody may be interested. So as we move forward, it seems to me that we have no guests here, unfortunately, today. I'm seeing that we have some guests on with us, Mohammed Sasay. Oh, Mohammed is here. Okay. Mohammed, did you wish to start your presentation?
Hello everyone.
Hello, Mohammed.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me.
What I can do, Mohammed, since you are on with us right now, is to stop my own presentation and put on yours.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm really sorry. At least I joined the Zoom late. I have been experiencing a lot of problem with my internet, and I almost cry because of I didn't really expect that will happen
Not a problem. So I'm going to start your presentation now.
So I'm really the director for short. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, Slinda. So yeah. So the director for Sierra Leone Educators Development and Advocacy Network. Slinda is a non-profit organization that has been registered with different government institutions here in Sierra Leone, and we are fully accepted to operate as a non-profit organization. And of course, before going to my presentation, because I'm supposed to give a presentation here, actually, I just want to make a very short story about this organization and of course myself before going to direct to the presentation, which is the overview of the Sierra Leone Educators Development and Advocacy Network. Of course, I came from a very remote community that is surrounded with trees, a lot of trees, rivers around. But actually, the things that the activities that the people living there are doing purely farmers. And of course, they engage on subsistence farming. That is their way of getting something like to eat, their way of getting food. Later, the idea of burning this charcoal came about, wherein they started cutting down trees to burn charcoal so that they can have their own survival. So later, the different forests that were around the town, they finished cutting those trees because of burning of charcoal, and they started experiencing a lot of disasters like heavy wind, started to destroy their houses. And later, I think about the ideas that they have been engaging on, like deforesting the trees. That is the problem. So I came with an idea that I need to sensitize the people of Mabari, which is my hometown. So I need to start engaging on sensitization on the deforestation, indiscriminate deforestation. So I engaged with other colleagues. We started that activity some years back, which we were able to influence different people that we are engaging on that charcoal burning. So at least I was able to reduce the burning of charcoal in the town. So I decided like I need to form an organization that at least I can able to educate people about human trafficking and also about climate change, environmental, to provide environmental education, and also to provide life skills training for young people, children, and also to help the less privileged children. So I decided like to form a foundation, which I named Mohammed Usman Lift Up Children's Foundation. That was the first initiative that I started with some years back. But it's rather unfortunate that I was unable to continue with the foundation because of I wasn't having like external support. So, and of course, during that time, I was unable to secure a job that I can able to support the foundation. So that idea died off. Later, few months back, I got an opportunity and attended a training with the president of Global Pioneer, Dr. Kari. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, Mohammed, yes. Can hear you.
Hello. All right, okay. So I got an opportunity with Dr. Kari, and he invited me with an online training that talks about good choices, how to make good choices based on the ways to happiness, the things that you're supposed to do in order for you to live a happy life. And also the things that we do normally do that make us not to live in a happy life. So I attended that training. After the training, I was really, really inspired. So I sat at one night, then I decided I need to do something, at least for me to start up another initiative. Since the first one, I have failed, the first foundation that I started. So I decided to start again another initiative, which is this one that I'm working on right now, the Single Educator Development and Advocacy Network. So I was having a little amount of money that was with me. So I decided to use that money at least for me to register the organization. So I spent the rest of my time on preparing the organization profile and also writing the constitution. So I included some of my colleagues that we are working on this organization presently. We registered the organization to 3 government institutions. I registered it to the District Council, Makeni District Council, also to Ministry of Agriculture as well, because the organization has some aspects of agriculture. Also, I registered human rights, community rights issues. So I later registered the organization to social welfare that deals with children, affairs. So that is how I started this particular initiative. So sometimes we experience a lot of failures in life, but that doesn't mean the end part of your life. There are other opportunities that if you embark on that, then. So going straight to my presentation now, that is just a brief history about my organization, about my life, then how I started this organization. So the topic of my presentation is an overview of the Sierra Leone Educators Development and Advocacy Network, SLINDA for short. SLINDA is a local non-governmental humanitarian organization established by of addressing issues that we experience in our various communities. Issues like human rights violation that affects a lot of people, especially like in the urbans, wherein we do normally experience disasters like flooding, landslide. So every year we experience, those disasters. And also fire accidents. We do normally experience them in our rural communities. We are born due to fire. So also the organization also concentrated on life skills training, because there are a lot of young people in Sierra Leone that they don't have job opportunity. Some of them are dropouts of school. So they are unable to further their studies to university level. Some of them, instead of continue with their education, they ended up evolving into human trafficking, because there is no opportunity for them at least to secure a job. So they ended up evolving into temple run, where they travel from one country to another country to look for a greener pasture. So these young people, sometimes when I experience some issues related that the things that they are experiencing in those countries, sometimes I really feel bad. So I decided to include that particular aspect in the organization, that at least I can able to provide life skills training for those young people that are highly want to improve their living standard. And also, we also raise advocacy campaigns on environmental education. And also we will also implement projects related with agriculture. Even as I'm speaking, I have been engaging on writing a proposal on cassava farming. So, because I also have to concentrate on farming activities in order for me also, because that aspect will be used like to raise funding for the organization. Wherein if like I have any events like to conduct, like I want to conduct a training with local farmers, whatever things that I have raised from the output of my farm, then that money will be used like to run my organization. Sometimes we don't just have to depend on donors. So we also have to see how best we can able to raise funds for ourselves. So the motto of this organization is what? Be the change you want to see in the world. That is the motto of the organization. I always want to see that I be a change of, I be a change that I want to see in the world. So my dream is what? For me to become a change agent in my communities, wherein I can able to help and improve the living standard of the people living in remote communities. Since I came from a very remote community, I came from a very poor family, so I should not just sit down and wait for international organizations to come and help my people. So at least I also need to create an impact towards their life. The mission of the organization is to provide technical and life skills training, and also to raise awareness and advocacy campaigns on human rights, education, health, human trafficking, environmental educations, and also to do implementation of some sustainable agriculture activities in the various communities that we are operating. That is the mission of this mission. So we want actually to achieve goals like to enhance technical and life skills training, and also to promote and protect the human rights and the fundamental freedom of all individuals. And also we want to also enhance community quality, environmental quality, natural resources, and also food security. How we are going to do this one is by providing environmental educations to the different communities that we'll be working on, and also to implement some agricultural activities, at least for us to promote food security. And the last one is for us to improve the skills and the competencies of young people, especially those that are drop out of school, those that are less privileged. So by conducting training to them, like human rights training, provide other capacity building training, computer training, even tailoring and fashion design, at least if they have those ideas, they can able to create job opportunity for themselves without depending on governments alone.
Mohammed, could I ask, should I be advancing this?
The organization have, yeah, come again, I don't hear you, sir.
I was saying I haven't advanced the slides at all. You haven't told me that I need to advance the slides that are being shown. on the screen. Remember,
okay,
I
you want
told
to
you
show them on the
earlier,
screen, right?
yeah, I told you earlier that you'll need to tell me when to advance the slides. Are we still on the first page, or are we moving forward in the presentation?
All right, okay. All right, well, that one will be nice. Okay, Sam. Well, let me just start again so that at least we can work towards that. Okay, sir? Hello? Is that
so
okay?
I just need to know which page that we are on, if I'm supposed to be advancing the slides.
Okay. The vision of the organization, where I stop.
Okay, and what page is that?
The vision is just after goals, the goals of the organization. Page 10, slide 10.
Okay, I'll move forward slowly through the slides. So just please tell me when I do need to advance the slides.
Okay. Okay. My presentation. These are the contents, the areas that I'm going to history, the meaning of cylinder, and our motto, our mission, meaning of cylinder. Then I will also talk about our motto, our mission, our goals, objective, the vision, our code of ethics. Vision. Then the last one will be our activities. These are the things that I'm going to present. Our various activities that we provide organization. So you can change the slide so that I can go to the first one.
What are you saying right now? Because I have our history.
Yeah. The history. Okay. Our history, this one is talking about how Cylinder started. And of course, the idea of this organization started after we have experienced a lot of human rights violations starvation in the country where I live, Sierra Leone. Over the past years, we have been having a lot of protests against the government, and hundreds of young people have been killed while protesting against the government. So with the topic can also be protest because of the cost of living is very, very difficult. So the country became a threat towards the citizens, wherein no one has the right to say anything against the government. When you protest, the police, the military, they will go against you. So there is no respect of human rights by those government officials. They don't respect the human rights of government officials. They are because they are in favor of the government. So since we are experiencing these difficult challenges as young people, we don't have a better education in the different communities that we are living. Not everyone has the opportunity like to further his or her studies to the university. Some of them drop out of school because they don't have support. And some of them decided to involve into drugs addiction. As I'm speaking right now, we have a lot of young people that have been hospitalized because of taking the recent drugs that is presently killing young people slowly, which is Kush and also tramadol. So these young people engage on these particular drugs. They don't have people at least to come to their aid, educate them, talk to them. So at one day, I was fortunate to attend a training with Dr. Kari, the president of Global Pioneer. And the topic that he taught us was how to make good choices based on the ways to happiness. So after the training, I was really inspired and reflecting what I have also experienced over the years from where I came from and what was my dream. So I decided to form this particular organization using my own resources without asking, someone like help me so that I can start up this initiative. All my dream is for me to help the people who are needy, for me to transform the lives of the less privileged. So I decided to register this organization. Later, I involved my colleagues. We all joined together and registered the organization. We on the human rights that have been in the country, and all pollution, deforestation, and also to provide agricultural activities like engaging on cassava farming, rice farming, and also on other crops in order to provide food for the less privileged, those who cannot afford food. Through donation, after the production of these particular crops, at the end of the period, we can see our best if like we process cassava to gari, we can able to supply that gari to different schools while conducting training. That is my dream, because you cannot just keep people, training them, provide education to them while they are hungry, while they don't have food to eat. They will not understand or listen to what you are saying. So I thought of while providing life skills training, I need to inculcate also agricultural activities that will help me to provide food for those that I provide this life skills training. So I registered the organization focusing on these areas. That is the story of Slinda. And of course, I have trained together with Dr. Kari. We organize webinars for children of a village called Makumbana. We conducted their training, as the slide will come just after the history. We conducted training for those children over 100 on a topic, how to make good choices based on the ways to happiness. And the children were very much happy. At any time I go there, they welcome me and ask me when I have to conduct training again for them. I said the time will come when I have any other training to provide, and I will definitely help them with other training. And of course, today also, as a International Peace Day, I went to a school wherein I provide peace education, and also talks about good choices, because when you work with good choices program, when you understand what good choices is talking about, how to make good choices, definitely you will have peace of mind, because it talks about the things that you should not do that will not disturb your peace. So I went there this morning and provide training for them. So that is just the history of Slinda.
Attended the training, what we have actually learned from the training, that inspired us. So we came together and decided to form this organization named Slinda. So we started raising
I'm trying to advance the slide here, it just doesn't seem to be moving forward.
So we decided to register the organization as a
so we can go to another slide.
Aims to
I'm trying to do that.
Awareness raising and advocacy on human rights, environmental pollution, deforestation, and also to do agricultural activities in our various communities in order to create a better job opportunities for young people. So this is all about our history.
It seems to be stuck on this slide. I'm not sure why. Oh.
So this particular picture that I just display is a picture.
This one is just the picture, the training that I conducted with children at Makombana, remote village. It was online webinars. It was a webinar as well, together with Dr. Kari, online training. I wish Dr. Kari is here. He has really inspired me so much.
The training was really successful. So this is one of our training that we conducted the last time with Dr. Kari, the president of Global Pioneer, US non-profit based organization.
Sorry, again, I'm trying to advance.
So since I have explained to you our history, now 2023 we decided to register Slinda as a non-profit and humanitarian organization. And of course, Slinda is a local non-governmental humanitarian organization established by youth in Sierra Leone with the goals of addressing issues within our society. That make it difficult for people to achieve their full potential through technical and life skills training. Now this one is talking about Sierra Leone Educator Development and Advocacy Network, what the organization is all about. The Slinda is a local non-governmental and humanitarian organization established by young people, like I said initially, with the goal of addressing issues within our community that make it difficult for the people to achieve their full potential. Through provide technical and life skills training, raise awareness raising and advocacy campaigns, and also environmental education program, and also to provide sustainable agricultural activities in our community. That is the aim of this organization. Our motto is to be the change we want to see in the world. To provide technical and life skills training, raising awareness and advocacy campaigns on human rights, education, health, human trafficking, environmental education, and implementation of sustainable agriculture. Activities. Hello, can you hear me, sir? This is our mission.
Yeah, but we can hear you, Mohammed, but for some reason there seems to be two different audios.
The first one talks about to enhance technical.
Well, I think you can use the presentation that I sent you.
Specifically, and young people to promote and protect human rights and fundamental freedom of individuals or groups, to enhance environmental quality and natural resources and food security. And the last one says to improve the skills and competencies of young.
Now our vision. Our vision is to spread ideas on education and human rights in order to ensure equal justice for all, promote food security, and to create a better and healthier environment. Our code of ethics. As we all know, in any organization there must be rules and regulations. There must be ethics that all volunteers and employees must have and must also follow in order to ensure that discipline is maintained in the organization. So we decided and set up this code of ethics, which says respect every individual within and outside of the organization. Respect the communities we work with and serve, and integrity in our actions, responsibilities in our decisions and their consequences. And we are committed to acting honestly, truthfully, and with integrity in all our transactions and dealings. We always avoid conflicts of interest, appropriately handling any conflict that rises in our relationships. Then also we should treat everyone fairly. We should treat every individual with dignity and respect. Treating our employees and volunteers with respect, fairness, and good faith, and providing conditions of employment and volunteerism that safeguard their rights and welfare. Acting responsibly towards the communities in which we work and for the benefit of the communities that we serve. Be responsible and transparent and accountable for all our actions. So these are our code of ethics as an organization. Now, our various activities that we provide to our communities. The following are: we have our education program, and inside the education program we have projects. We have up to 4 projects in our education program. The first one is technical and life skills training. The aim of this project is to develop young people's ability and motivation to make use of all type of informations in order for them to become self-reliant. The approach should be interactive, using role plays, group discussion, brainstorming. games, and a variety of other teaching techniques to keep the participants wholly involved in the sessions. This includes, we have adult education training, we have human rights education training, we have drugs education, leadership, we have computer literacy, moral and common sense, in brackets, the way to happiness. We have tailoring and fashion design, home management, communication skills, tools for teachers, how to teach students. We have effective relationship, social cooperation, and also we have organization management. Young people on, we also train young people on project writing, office management, monitoring and evaluations of projects, waste management, relationship development, smoking and biofeedback. And lastly, we also train young people on advertising techniques. There are also other programs that we are also planning to include in our life skills training and technical project. Our second educational program is environmental awareness. So this project will promote awareness on how to care for the planet. It will increase public awareness and knowledge on environmental issues like waste disposal, climate change, global warming, deforestation, etc. For over the past years, we have been experiencing a lot of flooding, landslide, and also fire disasters, and so many issues. So even the farmers as well, some of them, they are not getting a very good production due to climate change. So because of these reasons, we decided that we need to educate our peoples on environmental issues so that they can have knowledge on some of these issues. What are the causes and what are the preventions of some of these disasters. So that is why we organized this particular program, and we will actually focus in on the urban areas as well as the rural areas, because we want everyone to get this particular educational program. We don't want just to focus on the urban sector. Even our people living in remote areas, they also need this particular awareness. Our third education project is health education. This project will create healthy societies by organizing awareness program on various issues of health and hygiene. It focuses on the following: drugs abuse and misuse, malnutrition among children and women, environmental cleanliness, alcoholism, smoking, like cigarettes, kush, marijuana, which has become the order of the day for young people in Sierra Leone, and it's affecting young people seriously in this part of the country. Lots of them, are presently on the streets. Some they have already become displaced without having homes, because the places in which they we are living, the owners of those places, drive them away, ask them to move because they don't encourage short people. So some of them presently are living on the streets. So as an organization, we decided to focus on this, education and training, so that we can educate our young people on the effect of smoking kush, marijuana, cigarette. And also the last one on health education is sexual transmitted diseases. Is another key area that we also focus on. So our last education project is art project. This project will inspire students to discover their creativity, building their confidence, and encourage them to express themselves. This includes the following activities. We organize concerts, debates on different topics in order to inspire students, build their vocabulary, and also identify students who are public speakers, motivate them and inspire them so that they can become future leaders. And also we also organize sport activities to identify students who are very much skillful on various sport activities. So this is our art project, which is really very good, because for over the past few years, most of the schools, they are not providing these activities to children, and it is not all about teaching students in the classroom. Sometimes we have to provide them with activities that will motivate them, inspire them, make them feel like they are cared of. We care about them. So that is why we came up with this idea as an organization. We decided that we need to focus on these key areas in order to empower young people abilities. Our second program is awareness raising and advocacy on human rights. And of course, this program will create awareness raising and advocacy campaign on human rights issues to increase knowledge and skills of Sierra Leoneans in their different communities. So this program focus on human trafficking, abuses on domestic workers, child abuse and neglect, domestic violence, abuses on people with disabilities, abuses on people with mental illness. So we organize ourselves into group. We go out and educate people about human trafficking, because it has become the order of the day in Sierra Leone. Every day we hear about someone has missing for so many days, for a month, something like that. Children, are missing every day. So we need to go out and reach out to our peoples, educate them about human trafficking and how they protect their children from traffickers. So our peoples need this education program. And also we also educate them on abuses on domestic workers, child abuse and neglect, domestic violence. Most of them don't have any knowledge about domestic violence, especially our people that are living in remote communities. They didn't have any idea of domestic violence, and it's actually happening there every day. So we need to reach out to our communities, educate them so that we can see how best we can reduce the rates of domestic violence that is happening there.
and also abuses with people with disabilities. We like the last time I experienced someone was was seriously abused, and of course she was mentally disturbed. So I felt so bad because um, she she has human rights, and of course she needs to be treated like anyone else. It not just because she's mentally disturbed, so she deserves to be treated badly. No. So we must respect her human rights. So we need to go out and educate our peoples so that they can aware, they can know what is good and what is not good, to treat others. And lastly, Save the Earth and Emergency Relief Response is our last program for now. As an organization, this program aims at promoting food security and reducing susceptibility to climate change, protecting the natural environment, and provide support to victims of natural disasters. It will create awareness and empower people to conserve the environment and support disaster victims on the following activities. We provide humanitarian support and psychosocial counseling to victims of natural disasters, and also environmental conservation practice. We plant trees. We do waste management activities, and also soil conservation and pollution control. Also, production of food crops to ensure food security. In fact, we are planning by next year, to start doing some agricultural activities like rice farm, potato, cassava, because it's not just about going out, reaching out to the communities, educate them about human rights. We also have to concentrate on also producing some crops so that we can combat the high rate of hunger in Sierra Leone. So we too want to produce our own crops as well, especially like rice. If like we're able to cultivate a very big farmland wherein we can able to harvest at the end of the season 200 bushels of rice, 200 bags of rice. At least that particular rice will able to help a lot of children that are going without food. We can able to support those children that are sleeping without food for a day, that are going to school without having food to eat. If we plant cassava, at the end we harvest this cassava and process it into gari. We can able to provide gari to different schools. We can support these school going peoples with a packet of gari. We can supply those packets. We can process the gari and supply those packets to the children. So this is our Save the Earth and Emergency Reliefs. And also, like, in case there is any emergency like flooding, like landslide, like fire disaster, we can reach out to those people, provide them with humanitarian support. And also is another area that we also concentrate on educating people about fire disasters. So on and so forth. This is all about my presentation. So I want to say thanks again, and I really appreciate for the time which you people have spent here to listen to my presentation, and we are ready and open to partner with any international organization that will that is ready to come to our aid and support us. we are always our doors are always open. So if you want to reach us, our email address is slinder2023@gmail.com, and our phone number is +232 30 791 783 +232 75 177 001. These are our contact address. If you want to reach us, you want to partner with us, you are always welcome. Our doors are always welcome for everyone.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize that the presentation that was playing also had its audio embedded within it, which is why we were hearing some overlap between what Mohammed was saying and what the presentation had been previously recording. So thank you for at least waiting out that presentation that you had pre-recorded for us, Mohammed. You could have let me know that there was audio. When I looked at it the first time earlier today, I just briefly looked at the text only and didn't realize there was an embedded audio within it. Oops, we seem to have lost our guest speaker. I was hoping that we would have a question and answer period at this time, which was the segue I was going to be doing. So I'm going to stop the share for now. And we can have a short conversation perhaps, but it is on my time 11:30, which means we have been on the line for about an hour and a half. Are there any final comments on this presentation that was done today? Stephanie, I'm seeing your videos being turned on.
Sure. Yes. Hello. Hi, Lloyd. Stephanie Schugler, and I'm based in Toronto, Canada, part of UnityNet International with Lloyd. I very much love this presentation. It aligns so much with MAP, the Maui Aloha Eco Village project, that I'm a Vision Council director of, and trying to make global living communities, living and learning communities. And this presentation is all about that. We need each community to come together with, at the core of everything is the well-being of the community, the well-being of the children, the well-being of the planet and all of its inhabitants. And this presentation was all about that. So necessary. And it's an amazing opportunity for us to meet on this Indigenous Global Summit from the UnityNet International, who's trying to create these projects that are concerned with food security and regenerative solutions through all kinds of learning and engagement, community engagement, and also to outreach to community. We've been living in quite a competitive world, and we have to be more cooperative. And that's what we're trying to garner here, are the solutions, with the gardens and with the forests, with food, with housing solutions, and with a caring community. So thank you very much, Lloyd, for hosting this week and for our wonderful presentation.
Yeah, so I had actually asked Mohammed if he could do a presentation for us, because when I looked at the profile of his organization, it did very much align with what we are trying to achieve. Of course, he's, as can be we can tell there are extreme struggles, of course, in Sierra Leone, one of the poorest nations on the planet still. And I don't think the whole COVID situation has helped at all. They've probably taken a few steps backwards, as has been outlined and reiterated a few times recently by the UN, but that admits that for the most part, we're actually further behind from the 2030 goals. In fact, in some cases, further behind than in 2015. And it's likely that Sierra Leone is one of those countries that has not made any advancements since the time of the beginning of the 2015 Sustainable Development Goals. So it's good to have the connection to all of the people in places like Sierra Leone. We do have a good network there on our social media, on the WhatsApp, and the other groups that we have. Of course, Sierra Leone will be one of those countries where we're going to want to rapidly move forward as we can. Hopefully we will then have a conversation later this week. Perhaps as early as Monday, we can have a discussion with Adam Greenwell about these proposals that we'd like to put forward to Henry University. So with that, I think since our guest speaker is gone and there's only the last two of us here, we will end the day and the IGU Summit for this International Day of Peace on Thursday, September 21st, 2023. So thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.